Hi everybody, Shannon and Karen here with Wandering Out Yonder, and we are at Trap Pond State Park. What kind of attracted us to checking out the state park here in Delaware is the cypress swamp that we saw online. We thought, well, that's pretty cool. This state park happens to be the first state park in the state of Delaware. Alright, again, so we are at Trap Pond State Park, and we're going to take you guys on a tour of the campground. This is broken up into several loops, and they are very, very similar. As you can see in front of you, like you would drive in here and comes around and down. There is a playground right here off of the A loop, which is where we're at now with the big picnic pavilion. There is a bathroom, and I think there might be showers in there. It is closed right now for the season, so it probably won't reopen until, I guess, the season's officially open here, but there are other bathhouses here that are open. Anyhow, all of the campsites here are pretty much the same. You have this fantastic bed of pine needles. Each site has a power box, a water spigot, a picnic table, and you'll have a fire pit. But and they're all pretty spacious. I mean, you have quite a bit of space in between each one. I guess, negative to these inside loop sites is that you would be backing up to somebody, like you would be camping back to back. Now, on the outer loop over there, as you're coming in, you would be camping right along the pond. So those are all pond sites over there, I think, as they come around. Let's just walk down here and kind of share with you what some of these sites look like. A28. So you would back in here. All right. And you've got all these big, tall, I think these are loblolly pines all throughout the campground. All right, again, they're all very similar. You can see how there's a site over here and right here, and they kind of back up to each other. Okay. And then after the playground over to the left on the A loop, you have some sites that are kind of up against the woods a bit. So there's A23. An inside loop, you're looking at 22. 20. And over here on the left is A21. It's a nice big site right there. Don't you think, Shannon? A21 and 19, yeah.
Really nice back here. They back up into there.
Oh, see. So you have all this space back behind it, right up against the pond here. Right, and then over here on the right is 18. This is right on the loop here, so you don't have a neighbor to the left of you. So I would say on the A loop, the A19 site is probably one of the best. You've got this nice, great big site here. You've got the pond view and lots of space back behind you and over here. And then the 21 would also be nice as well. All right, so next to the pavilion on the A loop is this playground. It's a nice little playground. Nice and clean. And again, the pavilion is over here to the left. There's also a swing set. Bathhouse is right over here. All right, and the next up would be the B loop. Pretty much like I said, they're all pretty much the same. You have a nice cushy pine needle layer. Fairly level. You'll probably have to level out just a tad. But this is like B13. B14 would probably work out nicely. Other than you would have a neighbor backing up against you back here. But you would have all this over here to yourself. Alright, so we're going to go around the loop here. Out here is the pond. Anyhow, this is one of the things that this state park is known for. You see the Bald Cypress trees? Yeah, there's a pretty heavy concentration of them here. So, and this is the pond. Alright, so we're going to get back on track over here. Alright, so this is site B15. And again, this is pretty similar to all the other loops. It loops around on a gravel road, comes back up around over here. You can see the gravel road right here. And all these sites kind of back up to each other. And they're all pretty similar. You have the same electric water picnic table and a fire pit. So that's pretty much what you're seeing here. B17. Alright. The inside loop. And these power boxes, some of them light up. So it's kind of cool that they do that.
This looks like a newer section.
Yeah.
Or an upgraded section.
Okay. Okay, so again, this is loop C that we're on here. Same setup. You have a gravel road that goes around it. The sites kind of back up to each other. Same accommodations. One thing that we think is kind of neat about this campground, and then see the sites start up there and then work their way back. Okay, like right in front of me here is C15. It's a nice big site right here. Anyhow, there is a walkway that runs completely through the entire campground, all the way across, so that you do not walk through somebody's campsite, which we thought was pretty nice. We've noticed that about 2 of the Delaware state parks that we've been to, that they do this. Alright, again, this is the C loop. I'll show you a few of the sites. And like I said, they're all pretty much the same size, pretty much the same accommodations. Some are a little more private than others, and I would say because they're over here on the end of the loop, back part of the loop, over by the pond, so you have a nice view of the pond, a little bit more privacy back there. Alright, so we're going to take you inside one of the bathhouses. There are 3 that we have found in the campground, though 4 so far. So they have quite a few bathhouses here to accommodate the size of the campground. Alright, this is the women's side of this bathroom in the C loop. Alright, and these are the bathroom stalls over here, quite a few of them and one handicapped. The sinks. And here are the shower stalls. Not too bad. They look fairly clean. There you go. We got 3 of them over here. Alright. So again, that was the C loop that restroom is on. You can see the campground host is right here. And then there's one more side on the end that you would have a nice view of the cypress swamp area and the pond. And they have this little bridge that goes across from site loop C to D, which is right over here. But this is the cypress pond. You can see the little knees coming up. Super cool. Yep. All right. And then there's Fran. Hey, Fran. All right, so Shannon and I have picked the D loop to stay on. There's nobody here. There's one other camper and an RV here. That's it, besides us. So I'm going to show you the sites. This is D12 right here on the right, next to the little walkway. You can see they're pretty big. Lots of space there. We are at D13. So these 2 sections right here, I mean, look at all the space you have. You could probably put a few tents up if you needed, or anyhow, we really like this area. We're right here on this corner. Nice view of the pond from the back of the van. Plenty of space. And And we even have a little picnic area over here. This is pretty nice. The other thing we liked is there is a kayak launch over here. So we may come back someday with the kayaks and paddle around here. This is a nice little area. Great little area for dragging your kayaks up and in and out of the pond or the lake. You don't see this very much at the state parks, so this is like really cool. Again, Shannon and I are on this D loop, and one of the things that we also liked about being on the D loop is in between the D and the C loop is a whole line of trees that gives you that privacy in between the loops that isn't happening on the other loops. So this one actually is quite a bit more private over here. And there is a restroom down this way we'll take you to and show you a few more of the sites over here. This is 14 right here. Site D14. Okay. And this runs along that center walkway that we told you about earlier that goes to the campground. Over here on the right, this is kind of a cool little site right here. This is D15. Kind of sits back against the woods. And again, this outer loop on D is backed up to the woods, so you do have some privacy that way. And then the inner loop again is the same. It's that gravel road with the sites backing up to each other, except on the outer loops. And like I said, you see the trees in between the D loop and the C loop. You do have privacy in between those on the D loop. So keep that in mind if you're considering coming here. All right, I'll take you around this way. All right, now off of the D loop to the left is a gravel road that brings you to the walk-in tent sites. This is the parking here. There's a bathroom, bathhouse, showers right there. And there's what they call island sites. So we're going to check that out too and see what that's all about. That's island site parking over to the right. All right, so we're going to check out these walk-in tent sites. So again, you are going to be camping on some really cushy forest leaves and pine needles. So that's really kind of cool. But you walk back in, and there's quite a few walk back sites so that you can walk into. And looks like they have a fire pit, lantern hook, and a picnic table. All right. All right, so again, this road, now I showed you back there, that's the parking. You would come up and bring your stuff through this wide path that they have, road path, and you would get into your walk-in tent site. Okay, so there's one on the left and one on the right, all the way down this road. This is called the E loop, so they would go off to the left and the right. So that goes all the way down through there like that. It's kind of nice. All right, so this is site E5 that we're going into. And it's pretty big. Lots of privacy. Okay, so there's one site over here. And there is a site way over there. So you do actually have quite a bit of privacy in between these sites. Nope, you wouldn't, and you're really close to the bathhouse here. So this is what they're calling, I guess, the E loop, and that is for the tent sites. All right, so this is the bathhouse here, off of the E loop and right next to the D loop as well. And they are single units that you can go into. And just basic. You have a couple of hooks. You've got your shower, place to sit if you need to. Okay. And there's quite a few of these. This is Another one, pretty basic. Not so bad. Yeah. Pretty basic. And a shower. Place to sit. A couple of hooks. And there's a room for washing dishes. So this is super nice, actually.
I've never seen an inside one.
Yep. But yeah, all of these showers here on the E-Loop, the bathhouse, these are all individual units. So it's actually pretty nice. So, okay, so this campground also has cabins and yurts. They also provide you, it looks like, with some wheelbarrows or ways to get your stuff back into the sites, because you cannot drive back there. I think you have to utilize this parking area over here for the cabins and the yurts. So again, you would have the wheelbarrows and I think that's all that's over there to lug all your stuff into wherever you're going to be camping through here. Okay, so this is one of the cabins. So it's just a tiny little cabin right here on the pond. So if you had your kayak with you, you could probably get into the pond right there, which would be super nice.
There's a loft bed.
Pretty basic.
Loft bed, a dinette set. It does have an AC unit.
There's a screen porch on it, and I imagine in the summer the bugs are pretty bad. And I am guessing you will need to go online. It says this one is pets prohibited, so you may have to go online to see what the accommodations are and whether or not you would be able to bring a rover with you. All right, then there's a path over here to the yurt next to this cabin. Okay, so these are kind of small yurts. I don't think I've ever seen them quite this small before, but there you go. And then another cabin, another yurt, and you're right here on the pond. So this is actually pretty nice. Throw your kayak in and go. And across the way over here, another little cabin. And then there's a cabin here and another yurt. Another cabin. I see another cabin way back in there. Cabin here and a cabin over here. So quite a few cabins. And as I said, there may be different accommodations in each of these. And again, this one says it's pet friendly. The one over here was not. So you need to double check that. And then the ones on the outside here are facing the pond. I don't know if there's a price difference for that or not, but okay, this is number 10 right here on the turn of the road. So it looks like you have a little bit of privacy over there because of that. They all kind of look about the same size, so I don't know if they have anything bigger than this here. This is number 5. And again, you're sitting in front of the pond, so it's pretty nice. And this is your view. Pretty cool. All right, so we're curious to see what the island site camping by reservation only is about. All right, going down this path to see what this is about. You can see over here to the left where the cedars is a cedar swamp area, which is really cool. Look at all the knees coming up out of the water. Very cool. Wow. All right, and then over to the right is the pond. Very pretty. All right, so this is what they are calling the island sites, okay? You walk out amongst those beautiful cedars, and you have this really cool like little peninsula out here to yourself. Looks like there's some lantern hooks, picnic tables, and fire rings, and probably rent out for 2 sites here, I would say. But this is super cool. You're sitting right here on the lake, and you can see way out there, more of the cedars right there. But this would be a cool place too to bring your kayak and hop right in here. This really pretty area. I think Shannon and I may come back sometime and do this.
On our kayaks.
Yeah, do you see out there the cedars?
Mhm.
Way out there? Yeah, gorgeous. Really pretty area. So again, this site is super cool. If I were going to camp here, this would be it. This is so nice. You've got this huge space right on the lake, all to yourself, pretty private. I doubt you would have anybody else coming back here unless they had reservations. So, very nice. All right, so thanks guys for joining us as we went wandering out yonder here at Trap Pond State Park to share the Trap Pond Campground with you. Can't say enough about it. It's a pretty cool campground. Lots of really nice spaces to camp. A cushy pine forest floor that, you know, is nice if you're tent camping. And like I said, it's pretty much I think A through G loop maybe, or A through D and E loop campground. There's several bathhouses. Anyhow, Shannon, I really liked it. This is a great place if you want to come out here and bring your kayaks or your canoe or
Saw lots of people fishing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyhow, we think we might come back someday. All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you later. Bye.